Murder charges are filed after a fight between two family members. And we now know who will be on the ballot in multiple races in the November election.
Scattered showers continue Wednesday, but after that, the heat and humidity return along with some drier weather. I'll have a look at your forecast right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
And good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley. We are still monitoring the possibility of some heavy rain this evening that could lead to flash flooding. Let's get the latest now on this severe weather alert day from Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel. Paige?
Well, Steve, some good news. We really haven't seen too many issues today, especially compared to what we saw a little bit later last night, where we saw a few scattered showers, thunderstorms, a little bit of some flooding issues. But overall, we've been okay over the past couple of days, especially for today. As we look at pinpoint Doppler, some showers here and there, but not having to deal with those heavy showers that kind of just stay in one place over a really long period of time. As you look at pinpoint Doppler over into parts of Pike County, some heavier rain, some heavier bands moved through Floyd County and a little bit into parts of Knott County. And as we go up towards Moorhead and over into Morgan County just south of West Liberty, some heavier showers, but they're moving kind of quickly, so I don't think we're seeing some flooding issues over there. But these showers do hold a lot of rain, so could see some localized flooding issues throughout the evening hours. But like I said, I think we're looking okay. That flash flood watch does go into effect, or it stays in effect till 8 o'clock, so about 2 more hours on it. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that over the next couple of hours. A few scattered showers possible for tomorrow, but after that we dry out and heat up, and we'll see some pretty hot conditions return for that 4th of July weekend. I'll have those details coming up in a little bit.
Paige, thank you. An altercation between two family members leaves one dead and the other behind bars. Now a man is facing murder charges in the woman's death. WYMT's Madison Pergram has more on what happened from Harlan County.
It was around 8:40 Monday night when Kentucky State Police Post 10 received the call.
And we received a call of an assault involving a nephew and his aunt in the Everett community of Harlan County.
Troopers responding to a home off Kentucky 38, where the argument between 35-year-old Derek Adams and 56-year-old Sherry Brashear happened.
It appears that a verbal argument had occurred between the nephew and his aunt, which led to the nephew becoming very violent. And he began striking his aunt, and at some point he took a center block and struck her in the head.
A neighbor nearby recounting what she saw.
When I went down there, I seen her. She's pretty bad shape.
Brashear, flown from the scene to Pikeville Medical Center, died around 2:30 Tuesday morning.
I've seen her a couple times. I spoke to her, and of course her sister rents off of me, and she seemed to be a nice person.
Adams was taken from the scene to the Harlan County Detention Center. In Harlan County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Meanwhile, deputies with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office are still looking for a man accused in a shooting there. This is 28-year-old Joshua Cottle from Stambaugh. He's accused of shooting another man in the Puncheon Creek area of Sitka yesterday. The man was flown out. We do not know his condition at this time. Deputies say Cottle is dangerous and may be carrying a gun. The sheriff tells us deputies and state police searched extensively for him until 4 a.m. If you see Cottle or know where he is, you should call the Johnson County Sheriff's Office at 606-789-3411. The stage is set for what is sure to be a race that gains national attention. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will face Amy McGrath in November. McGrath won a tight race over Charles Booker. You can see all the local election results right now at the bottom of your screen on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app. McGrath up by roughly 15,000 votes. In a tweet, Democratic Senate candidate Mike Breuer called on his supporters to back McGrath in the November election. And I believe Booker has just conceded, but we hadn't heard from him until just a short time ago, but I believe I just saw where he has conceded the race. Now, the showdown in the 6th Congressional District is now set. Republican incumbent Andy Barr took in 91% of the vote in his primary. Barr has represented Central and parts of Eastern Kentucky and Washington since 2012. He'll face Democrat Josh Hicks in November. Hicks is easily defeated Daniel Kemp in his primary. Hicks paused his campaign for several days after the sudden death of Andy Barr's wife, Carol, earlier this month. And we now know the lineup for the race for Kentucky's 5th congressional district. Incumbent Hal Rogers won the Republican nomination in a landslide victory. He's looking to add a 21st term to his resume. His Democratic challenger is Matthew Ryan Best. And again, we have all the election results. We had several state Senate and state representative races we've been following. All those results can be found at the bottom of your screen and on WYMT.com. Kentucky's Secretary of State says the primary election was very smooth with few reports of any irregularities. Michael Adams says of the nearly 800,000 absentee ballots cast by mail-in, about 800 had signature issues and some of those were resolved. Adams said final official results were still coming in, but said the turnout could be 32% or more. He said it was the best turnout for a presidential primary since 2008 and was done with a lot of challenges. But he questions if it will work in November, for one reason because of constitutional amendment questions.
I'm not sure it's going to be feasible for us to print 2 constitutional amendments along with all the other races on the ballot and get those into an envelope and mail them out to 800,000 or more people.
Adams says he will be making a recommendation to Governor Beshear for the fall election, but he says he would like to see early in-person voting to continue statewide. Governor Beshear says Kentucky remains in a plateau with new COVID-19 cases. Today, the governor announced 282 more people have tested positive. That raises the total to 15,624. The governor also announced the deaths of 5 more people. June has recorded the highest number of cases we've seen in Kentucky with 6,200 reported cases. And today we also learned of a new COVID-19 related death in Jackson County. The Cumberland Valley District Health Department says 14 people have died in Jackson County since the pandemic began. During the governor's update, we also learned the state will take new steps to help those who have lost their jobs during the pandemic. The state government has contracted an accounting firm to help process the claims. Ernst & Young will provide 200 people to assist Kentucky's besieged unemployment office. Their goal is to process about 56,000 claims within 1 month. The $7.4 million contract will be paid for by CARES Act funding. Pike County officials hosted a news conference at the Pike County Courthouse today, saying they are worried about the increase in positive cases. Public Health Director Tammy Riley announced 2 new cases since yesterday for a total of 87 in the county, with 25 active cases, most of which are linked to one another or to travel. She says people should remain cautious. Pikeville Medical Center infectious disease specialist Dr. Fadi Alacross agrees.
If we're going to basically put our guards down and keep basically moving from community to another community and not follow the restriction policies, what are we going to do? We're going to bring the infection here to our area.
Judge Executive Ray Jones says tightening restrictions only works if people are willing to follow them, and he does not want the fiscal court to have to make any more ordinances. But he says people have to take the virus seriously, especially as we enter the holiday weekend. On Friday, we told you about more than 50 residents and staff testing positive for COVID-19 at Christian Health Center in Corbin. Today, WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to the administration about how they are handling the outbreak.
On June 2nd, everyone here at Christian Health Center in Corbin was tested for COVID-19. All of those test results came back negative, but that was not the case for the testing completed last week. On June 24th, everyone was tested again for COVID-19 after a staff member showed symptoms and tested positive. That testing resulted in 55 positives, 47 residents, and 8 staff. A few days later, 5 more staff tested positive. CEO of Christian Care Communities, Mary Lynn Spalding, says all the residents are asymptomatic at this time. Some of the staff, however, are showing symptoms. The staff who tested positive are in isolation. The 3rd floor of the facility has been quarantined off from the rest of the building for precautionary measures.
We have not lost anyone to COVID, and we're proud of that, but we're also very humble about that and so grateful. The reality is that we are dealing with an elderly population. Some of the individuals that we deal with, because they are in long-term care, were already hospice or end-of-life care, but we have not had anyone related to COVID pass away.
Last night, cars paraded by the center, escorted by the Corbin City Police. They flashed their lights and honked their horns to show support to the residents and the staff. In Corbin, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Spalding says they plan to test weekly until they do not have any more cases.
And we have one more day of some scattered showers and thunderstorms before the heat, humidity, and drier weather returns. I'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
And a Pikeville group comes together to help a local teen with cerebral palsy.